Have you ever reflected on your past, like your whole life, and suddenly saw a pattern? Like all of the major decisions you've ever made and turning points in your life have all been under one overarching theme. Like you do things over and over again that are different and the same. I spent a long time looking at my south node in my natal chart and not making sense of this. And then just recently, I decided to reflect on my past, the choices I've made that I thought were bringing me forward in my life. And it turns out they were all the same. They were all focused on one thing, and that was motherhood. And I don't mean my children. I've had children for 13 years, and my decisions were not all for my children. They were for motherhood. Let me explain. First off, my name is Hannah. I've, like I said, been a mother for 13 years. I have 3 children on Earth and 3 in the stars. I am married to my high school sweetheart. I am a postpartum and bereavement doula, an evolutionary astrologer, and a life purpose coach. So I have brought together my 13 years of motherhood experience, 9 years of childcare experience, postpartum, labor and birth, doula training, and experiences, my deeply intuitive maternal caregiving nature, and my passion for helping people unearth their truth and bring forth their authentic expression so that they can move forward, like I thought I was doing, into a life that is fulfilling and meaningful and deeply, truly aligned with their soul's purpose in this lifetime. So, if you don't know, the South Node, specifically in evolutionary astrology, is all about your past. It is the things from your past, whether it's your childhood or your past lives, that you brought into this life with you that are kind of like your comfort zone, your crutch, things that you do that come easily, but they're really not fun. They're kind of like, yeah, I'm good at that, so I'll do it because I know how to do it. But they're really not, like, nothing under your south node is really your passion. So, for example, my south node is in Cancer. A south node in Cancer is extremely nurturing and emotionally very intuitive and empathic and empathetic. And when it comes to being a mother, that means I kind of enmesh myself with my children's emotions. And thanks to other placements in my chart, which I'll get to in later videos, and my entire childhood of enmeshment issues in my family, I've been able to stay aware of this issue within myself. But at the same time, as my children have grown and my life has changed and things have happened and I haven't been able to stay consistently aware, I've found myself having 0 boundaries with my children, sacrificing myself at every turn, and feeling all of their feelings to the point where I don't know where their feelings end and mine begin. So finding my south node in Cancer was easy. I was able to, look it up, read all the descriptions, watch other people's videos, and be like, okay, sure, I see that. I see that I've been a serial caregiver. I became a mom at 20. I went straight into childcare when I realized I really wasn't that good at taking care of kids. I went into adult caregiving for adults with disabilities and also elderly caregiving. I've also had a lot of struggle with being autonomous in relationships and becoming codependent because caregiving came naturally, and then I ended up being the primary caregiver in all ways, like most of us moms do. But there is something about evolutionary astrology where it goes much deeper than any mainstream astrology. And it not only makes you can't make sense of it on surface level. You can't say, okay, yeah, Cancer South Node, that makes sense, boom, bye, on to the next thing. It takes time and dedication and effort and true self-reflection, where you're like doing the things that your Cancer South Node predicts that you will do, and then watching yourself doing them. So it's not just like you do them and you move on. You're like, oh, I'm doing that, and I see why I'm doing it, and that is so my South Node, and it is not good for me because it is my comfort zone. It is from my past. It is not the me that is going forward. I'm not going to do that anymore. So it took a long time because I had no one guiding me. I was just reading all the books, watching all the videos, going through all the web pages, and trying really hard to figure it out on my own. And it comes to me in unexpected epiphanies, like the other day when I was reading about my South Node, specifically preparing for this video, and realizing that it can be specifically related to the lineage of mothers in my ancestry, and how having a Cancer South Node specifically, because Cancer is so related to the mother, I am supposed to be clearing something, healing something. I am the last mother who can act the way that all the mothers have. And it is Capricorn North Node, which we'll get into in another video, sorry. But I was like, oh, okay, so I have to break the cycle, which I've known, but it made more sense, and stop being the way that all the mothers who raised me were being, which means I can't sacrifice myself for my children. I absolutely cannot. My mother did that, her mother did that, her mother did that, her mother, like, they all did that. They put aside what they wanted to do with their lives because they had children, and children come first, and children are the most important. My mother told me that. Her mother told her that. Her mother told me that. They all did that. And it won't work for me. That's not going to bring me happiness or make me feel fulfilled or help me to complete my life purpose, which I am doing in this life. I'm doing it. And I invite you to do it too. But I digress. I love my children more than anything. They are amazing in every way. I am so blessed, and I could gush and gush and gush, and I won't. But you know how it feels. You love your children more than anything, and also you can't breathe sometimes because they're all over you, and you need some space because they're always talking to you, and you can't really do a lot that you want to do because you need to make sure they're good. And it's hard. And we deserve more. And who's going to give that to us? Nobody. We have to take it. So I learned, which is what I'm trying to tell you, that all of the decisions I've made from the time I was 7 years old and decided, I don't want to be an astronaut, I don't want to be a teacher, I don't want to be a firefighter. When someone asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be a mom. And at 19 years old, I went off birth control on purpose to become a mom. By the time I was 21, I had 2 already, back to back. Boom, boom, done. Then every decision I made was to learn more about motherhood, to have more freedom in motherhood, to be able to fully integrate motherhood into my being, and to heal the mother line. At 29, I got pregnant again and had a stillbirth. And this is, it's so impossible to explain what it does to a mother. I changed. I wasn't just a mom anymore. I was a mom with a baby who wasn't alive. I won't even get into it because you get it. Even if you haven't experienced it, you can't imagine, right? I can barely even imagine it, and I've experienced it. At 30, I was pregnant again, and we had our rainbow. In her first year, I was so obsessed with motherhood and breastfeeding and co-sleeping and snuggling, baby wearing. I was like, this is what I'm doing with my life. This is perfect. Something switched when I was about 32. I had a really blissful babyhood with her, and then I just was about to snap. Luckily, at the exact same time, my husband was also about to snap and quit his job. At the same time as he quit his job, I stopped childcare and accepted fully into my being that I'm not great at working with kids. I'm not great at stay-at-home mom, even though I did it for 11 years, 12 years, something like that. I accepted it, and it was excruciating for my ego, but having the awareness of my South Node made it a breeze. And I said, okay, I'm going to work. I went to work, of course, as a caregiver, because it's what I know. It's what's easiest. But what was interesting is that I was still more obsessed with the aspect of motherhood and what I was learning about myself as a mother through caregiving for elderly mothers and adults with disabilities who had never been able to become mothers and whose mothers had made choices with them, and just motherhood. And I had this awakening. It was very unexpected, as awakenings are. It gave me so much clarity about what would fulfill me, and that is mothers. I just want to be with mothers, help mothers, talk to mothers, support mothers, empower mothers, just listen to mothers, just listen and feel and be a guiding light out of what feels like dark weight in motherhood. And not everyone struggles with this. So if you are like, motherhood's a breeze, that's fine. I'm happy for you. But it's not always, especially not in our society. It's oftentimes very alienating and sad. I want to be a light in that. So when I had this epiphany and awakening, I felt so aligned. And then, as awakenings often do, it just went away. And I was back in reality with a new mission. And I had no idea how to pull all the pieces together. But I bet you can guess what helped. Yes, you're right. It was evolutionary astrology. I went deeper into my birth chart, deeper into evolutionary astrology, read those books, and figured it out. I decoded my birth chart, and I discovered my life purpose. Guess what it is? Motherhood. This is part 1 of an 8-part series. 8 being a number that is coming at me from all angles right now. An 8-part series showing you how I decoded my birth chart in such a way that I was able to discover my life purpose and actually take action toward fulfilling it. Not just find my life purpose based on this aspect, okay, that's my life purpose, cool. No, actually find the tools within my birth chart that show me the way to actualize it. The karma I have to clear, the challenges I deal with in my everyday life, the people that I've brought into my life to teach me lessons, my husband, the relationships I have with my children, and why I needed to have these exact children exactly when I did, and what I am really good at based on my self node that supports my life purpose. And yes, it might be confusing right now because my self node is linked with motherhood, and yet I was supposed to let that go. Like they say, the self node is something that you need to release. But there is another side to the self node, and it is so strong and so beautiful, and it needs to be basically cleaned off. Think of the self node as like, a dirty dish, and it's very useful, and it might be very beautiful, like, painted and whatever, gorgeous plate, but you've eaten on it and now it's a mess. That's your self node. It's a mess based on issues you've had in childhood and in past lives, and things that you've just like added onto it because it was easier to just go with your comfort zone and what made you feel safe. And now you have to clean it off, which means understanding and fully embracing the mess that you are and saying, I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. I don't need that. Cleaning the plate and realizing it is so beautiful and so useful. And maybe even you don't want to use it. You just want to put it up on the wall so you can look at it. That's fine, because it'll still help you fulfill your purpose. So, I am extremely excited to share this with you. I cannot wait to make the next 7 videos. I can't wait to post this, and I can't wait to tell you that I am offering coaching. I probably already said it, but I'm saying it again. I'm offering coaching, currently one-on-one sessions to go straight into everything I'm covering in my videos. If you would like to get to it before you've watched all 8 over the next 4 weeks, I implore you to check out my website, motherevolving.org. It is also going to be in the description, and fill out a registration form for coaching. And we will get on a free consultation call for 30 minutes, and I'll ask you a bunch of questions just to go deeper into what we need to work on, and I'll get your birth information so that I can look at your chart and see what your south node is, and we can get into it. So if you want to work with me, that's where you go. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a blast.